motivating and empowering women, emphasizing knowledge of power to create, nurture, and transform lives to come. It's definitely going to be a great time in the Ladies Lounge tonight with your host, Kathy B. To advertise on Ladies Lounge, contact Kathy B at kathyb@sourceradionetwork.com. Now, here's your host, Kathy B.
Good evening, Source Nation. Good evening, and welcome to the Ladies Lounge. I am your host, Kathy B. We have about 2 hours before we lose the live feed. Telephone number to reach us tonight is 619-924-0933. Again, 619-924-0933. Well, I tell you, we have a dynamic show tonight. I am so excited because I'm going to be speaking with some wonderful and amazing ladies here in the lounge. But before we get started, you guys know that I have to thank some amazing people because we would not be here without them. And they are Zuna Health, Wellness, and Fitness, Paper to Film Productions, Revolution Mills, and Renovations. You guys know that we've already launched the Love Zone Book Club. Yes, we have. But you know what? I am going to ask that we need more people inside of the book club. That's right. Paying attention to what we're posting there because, you know, we're all striving for longevity and success when it comes to our relationship. So definitely head on over to the Facebook page, join the Facebook page, and definitely join in the conversation. And then, of course, support us here, right here on Source Radio Network every single Monday for Love Zone Monday. Well, it is Friday night, and I am so excited because I have some amazing women coming into the studio with me. But let me just tell you this. We are doing another great book series. That's right. And the book that we're going to be speaking on momentarily is going to really give you guys some great information in reference to your dreams and your goals and the things that you may be going through in your life. So the book that we're going to be speaking from and meeting some dynamic women that are part of this great book, it is Women Inspiring Nations. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and on the other side, I am going to bring in an amazing young lady into the studio with me, and she's going to definitely talk to us about her journey. I will be speaking with Miss Adrienne Dawkins next. You're listening live right here on the Ladies Lounge. I'm your host, Kathy B. We'll be right back.
We'll be back, Source Radio Network, after this commercial break.
Source Radio Network is just one of the many platforms that is used to fulfill dreams of our listeners and create a purpose that will impact the lives of our communities, cities, and the world. It is often said that great things will happen when a group of driven people work together to accomplish one goal. We're giving people the opportunity to have a voice, translate words that haven't been heard, and paint pictures that no one has seen. Source Radio Network is fueling your life's purpose. How can you listen? www.blogtalkradio.com/Source Radio.
Seen love beyond repair from a heart that wasn't there, and still I carried on. So-called friends who've had my back in integrity they surely lack. Reflect, and now they're gone. Now I know for certain things may have their season. I no longer question why or reason. I am not broken. I am not broken by what you've chosen to be to me. No, no, no. It took some time to figure out your insecurity, self-doubt should not be cast on me. I've had challenges of my own, so keep yours there where they belong. They're not designed for me. Now I know time heals all bruises lives inflicted. Won't let them hold me back. I won't be restricted. Though you tried to shut me out, create disbeliefs and doubts about who I truly am. Words you spoke, designed to cut deep like a knife, create misery and strife. But here I stand, strong and unbroken. I am not broken by what you've chosen to be to me. Well, I got stronger every day, forever growing. I'm not broken. There's a peace within my core from knowing I'm not broken. Onward to the mountaintop, never ever gonna stop. Like a acid set of hills, but you'll find me standing still. Strong and unbroken by what you've chosen to be to me. Onward to the mountaintop, I'm never ever gonna stop. Getting stronger every day. I won't look back, I'm on my way. There's a peace within my broken, 'cause I know something's in store. And I keep on standing still. Strong and I am not
Welcome back, Source Nation. Now here's your host, Kathy B.
Welcome back, Source Nation. Welcome back. You're listening live right here on the Ladies Lounge. We have about an hour and 59 minutes before we leave the live feed. Telephone number to reach us tonight is 619-924-0933. Again, 619-924-0933. Well, you guys know that we have our first guest in the studio with us tonight. And, of course, we're going to be speaking from a great book entitled Women Inspiring Nations. My guest tonight is Miss Adrienne Dawkins. But before I bring Adrienne in, I want to read something to you guys in reference to the book if you haven't been following us. The book is designed to feature women who are using their gifts for the greater good, taking their gifts beyond the boundaries of their own zip code and being intentional about inspiring others by sharing their stories, their lessons, and their knowledge. Now, each contributing author will share the story about how they discovered their unique gift or calling in spite of life distractions, what challenges they have faced along the way, to really walking in their greatness. Now, I love that. How they found the drive and focus to commit to process the most pivotal lessons that they've learned with fears they had to face, and now how they're taking the gifts that they have, impacting others, and beginning to inspire. So I love the fact that they want to impact, inspire, and the gifts that they have, they're willing to share. Well, up first, my first guest, Miss Adrienne Dawkins, is here in the studio with us. I cannot wait to speak to her. Adrienne, hello, and welcome to the Ladies Lounge. How are you this evening?
I am awesome. Hello to you. Hello to every single awesome listener out there. Thank you so much for participating and just being a part of this. And I'm excited. I'm so excited and honored. Thank you for having me as a guest.
You're welcome, Adrienne. Thank you so much for being here on the Ladies Lounge. Now, of course, Adrienne, I did not give your bio justice because I know that you are a part of this amazing book with some wonderful and amazing ladies. So, if you will, if you could share with the ladies here in the lounge a little bit about you, we'll jump into our conversation from there.
Absolutely, a little bit about myself. Well, first and foremost, and I always have to mention it simply because I do. I'm going to start off with family, but I have to. I'm a mom. I'm a mom of two beautiful little girls. I'm a 10-year-old and a 2-year-old. And when I'm not on mom duty, I don't have my mom hat on. I am an author. I'm a speaker. I'm a travel specialist, which is a journey that, oh boy, it's interesting how I found that one, but I have a gift with travel. I'm a travel specialist, and I'm in loving life. I'm loving and enjoying life. I'm coming from that 9-to-5 corporate world, which is an interesting one, but I'm leaving and transitioning out of that into just using my gifts, and I love it. I absolutely love it, whether it's speaking or the travel aspect, training and motivating. That's just a little bit about myself in a nutshell.
Awesome. Well, Adrienne, again, I shared with the ladies here in the lounge that you're a part of a great book with some amazing women, Women Inspiring Nations. Talk to us a little bit about your contribution to the book, and why was it so important to really begin to share your journey?
Okay. You're trying to trip me up. Oh, boy. All right. So I want to listen to all the listeners. I want to be able to speak about this without tearing up. But I will share this with you. This is my first time kind of just opening up about my journey. So many see me now, and I am far from the finished product. I am a work in progress, definitely, but so many see me now, and they have no idea of the journey that brought me there and some of the trials that I went through. So forgive me in advance if I do get a little choked up, but I'm going to try my best not to. So in terms of myself and what kind of brought me through my journey and how I discovered what my gift actually was, sometimes you have to be in a darker place to be able to discover and tap into what's there. And that's what happened with me. It was several years ago, roughly 12 years ago. I want to say I have to start this off by just telling you a little bit about who I was then at that point in time.
Okay.
Private school from the age of 3 on through senior year, even in college, both parents in the home, youngest of 3 girls, the princess, very sheltered. I have to put that out there because as I talk about it, you may even hear signs and say, "Oh, Adrienne, why did you run? It's so obvious." Well, not when you live in a bubble. One of the main aspects, or one of the main parts that helped me with this journey was actually a relationship. It was a very toxic relationship. It wasn't toxic in the regular sense, or I would say, I don't want to say normal. It wasn't toxic in the average sense. It was toxic in this sense. It was toxic in the sense of I was in a relationship with someone where, although it wasn't physical abuse, it was verbal abuse. And it was verbal abuse daily. I mean, several times a day. And because I'm so used to, and I want to say we are just in general, we're conditioned to thinking of abuse as being physical only. It's something I can see. Well, you can't take those words. At least you weren't hit. You weren't touched. It wasn't this. It wasn't that. And I want to just say, and I feel that as a society, we downplay verbal abuse. We don't understand how it can just destroy a person and kill you on the inside. Once you're dead on the inside, that is what I went through. And that is what I went through for years. And it was to the point of leaving home and being with this man who, on the outside, everything looked great, and when we were in front of others, everything was fine, but behind closed doors just took out his darkness and his anger and his frustration out on me verbally to the extent of, and I don't know, and sometimes people say that's what it is. They say, Adrienne, he saw your light before you even saw your light.
Right.
He was being used. He was being used by the enemy, and his assignment was to make sure you would never discover that light, because once you discovered it, you were going to take that and help others to be able to discover theirs, which is what I'm doing. It was such a dark time, and there was no one who I could speak to out of embarrassment. It was really out of embarrassment. I not just blamed myself, but it was also it was a lot of me saying to myself, even Adrienne, come on. Well, you can't take that. So what, he said this. And it went from that to, well, you know what? I guess he is right, because look at you. And it went from his voice to me now having that voice in my own head tell me what I was not capable of doing. Mm-hmm. Telling me that I could not be the type of mother that I wanted to be. How dare I even think that I could? Just telling me, who are you to even want to reach out and inspire others? Because even at that time, I was still pouring into young adults. I would go back to my former high school, and speak with them. And it was, again, it went from that one voice of his to there now being 2 voices, because I had my own, which followed me, and I just couldn't shake it. Sorry.
No, that's
now fast forward a bit, and I discovered where all of this hatred and evil, because I truly do call it evil, that's what it was coming from. He was actually addicted to drugs, and I didn't see the signs. I didn't see it. I had no idea what it would even look like. I didn't know. So I wasn't realizing that it was that spirit that was attacking me daily. Mm-hmm. I thank God that I was allowed to be at that point of I cannot do this on my own anymore. Please help. Because once that happened, and I turned to my Father completely and asked him for this help, the light was shining, and it was so bright and showing, this is what's going on, that's what's going on, this is what you need to do, that's what you need to do. And I can look back and say, that was not my strength. That was not my strength. That was a supernatural strength that only could come from my Father, that allowed me to be in a position to finally stand and leave and know that I deserve better, that my daughter deserves better, that everything that had been said to me for years was a lie. And once I understood that and took that truth, because that was truth, and ran with it, that was it. That was it. And now one of the things that I'd like to do is just really, it can be as simple as just taking some time and speaking with someone else, because, again, the stigma that's associated with that and the shame that we go through because we really just blame ourselves, toughen up, have thicker skin, just everything. I just make sure to take my time now to speak with as many people as I can, as many women as I can. And I don't mean necessarily on a large platform. It doesn't have to be on a large platform. And even in the building that I live with, I was speaking with my neighbor a few floors down from me who's going through something similar. So it doesn't have to be on that large platform. On whatever level you can, just reach out to someone else and just be that ear, because you never know what it is that they're going through. And simply listening and having someone else speak and breathe that power and belief in you. See, at that time, I didn't have anyone doing that.
Right.
I truly didn't. And I want to say, even if I did, even if someone were to come up and they tried to, that hold on me was so strong, I wouldn't have listened.
Amazing information, Adrienne, that you're sharing. What I want to talk about is the fact that although you were in that particular situation and you were in a relationship that dealt with abuse, the fact is that you made it out. You made it out to be able to speak about it and give others an opportunity to speak about it. One of the words that I truly believe in, where it not only begins to heal, but it shows an area of growth, and it's the word of transparency, being able to be transparent. Because when you are transparent, you are giving others the opportunity to say, I can do that too. You're able to share a dark area of your life where at the time you felt hopeless. You felt if you were to say something, people probably wouldn't look at you. So once you left that particular area, let's say, leave the home and go out into the world, you had to put that smile on. You had to, dress yourself pretty so no one would know what you were facing. And I can truly sympathize with you, because I was in a marriage that was dead, okay? Nobody knew that infidelity existed in my home. And I seen it every single day for 7 years. I dealt with it until I said I didn't want to have it anymore. Working in broadcasting, I had to be in front of cameras. I had to be behind mics. But I had to be in a position where if people were to see me and if they were to talk to me, I couldn't let what was going on behind those doors in reference to my home. I couldn't let anyone know that. So I certainly understand that. Now, my question for you when you were faced with this, how did you deal going out into the marketplace and doing what Adrienne had to do? Talk to the ladies about that, because I'm sure we have some that are listening tonight, or probably where you and I were before we made it through. What are your thoughts?
How I dealt was an unhealthy way of dealing. How I dealt with it was to not deal with it. How I dealt with it was to put that smile on my face and make sure that I look good. And truly my joy, it came from going out into the marketplace. It came from interacting with others. It came from that positivity during those times that, so many thought that it was me pouring into them. It was them pouring into me, and they had no idea. They had no idea. They thought they needed me, and I needed them so badly, because that was the only time during the week, even sometimes, when I would smile, when I would feel great, when I would know that there's more. There's more. There's more to living than how it is that I'm currently living. Those were some of my best times when I was out there. And again, it was, so many felt as if they were receiving something from me, but they were truly just pouring into me. Of course, looking back on it now, I definitely wish that I was able to face it earlier, but I faced it at the time that it was meant for me to face it, because I had to go through everything. And I know that I had to go through everything. There were times when I felt as if my voice did not matter. I thought my voice didn't matter. Now here it is. I was speaking to others, and I thought that my voice didn't matter because I was not being my authentic self. I was not being as transparent as I should have been. As a matter of fact, my chapter is called Your Voice Matters. I didn't think that my issues were big enough. You have to keep in mind at that point in time, I would maybe speak or hear from someone who was going through a domestic violence situation, who I know she thinks she would trade places with me. I could have been speaking to someone who had just lost someone, and again, perhaps they would think that they would want to trade places with me. So I had no one who I could actually share that part with, because, again, just feeling as if, oh, Adrienne, your voice doesn't matter. What you're going through, it's big to you, but it's not big to anyone else. It's not major to anyone else. Just stay quiet. Just keep this to yourself. Just help this person, help that person, help that person. But I wasn't taking time to get help for myself. So if there is someone listening, and you may be thinking that same thing. Well, I'm surrounded by people who, and again, I have to keep bringing it back, because it's not about having that platform of a stage or being blessed enough to have that platform of a book. It could be in your neighborhood. It can be in your family. There are so many of us who feel as if everyone else's issues are bigger than mine, and I'm that go-to person, and I have to help them along. And how dare I, for a moment, raise my hand and say, hey, guys, this is what I'm going through. Can someone help me? We don't do that, and we need to. It is so important to do that. Again, your voice, each and every voice matters. Each and every trial and tribulation, it matters. Don't just put that smile on and walk through the door. Don't put that smile on and walk through the door. I don't start who I am now, again, and who I was then are two totally different persons. And that people now have that smile on my face when I walk through the door, and it is genuine. Mm-hmm. It is so genuine and so real, and it feels so good. Because never again, and I'm in a wonderful, healthy relationship, but you know what? That's not where my joy comes from. And never again will I put that much control and power in someone else's hands to allow that to happen.
Yeah. I love that, and thank you for sharing that with us, Adrienne. Source Nation and the ladies here in the lounge, we are speaking with Miss Adrienne Dawkins, and she is part of the amazing book, Women Inspiring Nations. She's an author, and we are speaking on her journey tonight. Now, you said some great things there, Adrienne, and I want to be able to address them and give the ladies here in the lounge a little bit more information. You mentioned where you felt as though you weren't able to speak about the abuse that you were going through. Not only that, it just really wasn't your time to talk about it. I want to talk with the ladies because I am so big on an advocate of being able to communicate. Not only that, I also believe that when you're able to talk about what it is that you're going through, yes, you can begin to not only heal yourself, but you can also help others along the way. So now that you've been able to come from that situation, you mentioned that you are now in a healthy relationship. How important is it for you now to begin to talk to the women? And I don't want to leave the men out because men are being abused just as well in their relationships. So talk to us a little bit about that. Being able to talk about what you're going through and not being fearful of that. What are your thoughts?
It's crucial. It's crucial. It's crucial. It's crucial. It's crucial. One of the main feelings that I kept feeling at that time was, what will other people say? How will they look at me? Their ideal of me will change. Their perception of me will change. You know what? So what? So what? So what if it does change? So what if they do see me with different eyes? So what if their perception is now different? So what? We have to be focused and concerned with our business and our business only. And how someone else feels about me, how someone else perceives me is not my business. That's not my concern. Because you will allow that to burden you and hold you hostage so tightly that you don't want to crack your smile. You don't want to smile wrong. You don't want to say something wrong. You don't want to offend. You just can't spend your days just concerned and boggled down by the what ifs. I no longer spend my days boggled down with the what ifs. And just in terms of speaking to others about it or allowing others to speak with me, it is such a judgment-free zone. And that's how it needs to be. That's how everything needs to be. It is a judgment-free zone. Because how someone is going to receive, whether it's words, whether it's whatever, how someone's going to receive something, it may be different than how that next person's going to receive something.
Right.
Their emotions, their feelings, they may take that differently. What one person may be able to just brush off and keep walking with, that other person could be falling down in the corner, sobbing. Who are we to say what's right and what's wrong? It is just a judgment-free zone, and just being able, again, we need to be able to help each other out more, reach out to each other more, listen to each other more without not even, and I'm going to add this really quickly, not even when I say listen to each other more, I truly do mean listen. It's not the listening and waiting until it's your moment and here's the resolution for that person's problem. And I think sometimes it's what we feel, too. We kind of feel as if I don't have the answer. So it's okay if you don't have the answer. Then I wasn't looking for an answer. I was looking for a hug. I was looking for a shoulder to cry on. I was just looking for someone who would even just be in my company and allow me to share with them the things that I kept secret that were killing me. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. You didn't have to say a peep afterwards. Don't try to fix it, because you're already helping in that healing process just by listening. We even downplay listening. Don't downplay it. It's something that we need. We need it just as we need intimacy and touch, and not in a romantic way, but in a caring way. We need to have someone who will listen to us, and we need to be that listening ear for others.
I love that. And I think that is very important, too. In any life situations that we may be going through that may be difficult, when we are not seeking something from someone, the only thing that we want is to be able to speak about it and not be judged. And I think that is the reason why a lot of people choose not to say what's going on with them and around them, because they're fearful of the judgment part of it. And how I wish that that doesn't take place. That doesn't take place. But the one thing that I've learned about that too, Adrienne, is that the ones that judge are the ones that have not faced the fact of what's going on with them as well. That is the route that they would choose. That is the route that they would choose. And again, thank you. Being able to speak about what has happened with you and sharing it with others. My next question would be, how receptive has your message been in sharing? Can you share that with us?
Well, this is a new journey.
Okay.
This is a new journey, and fully sharing this with others. So in terms of how effective, we're going to see. We're going to see as that journey goes. In my smaller circle and in my smaller sphere, because, again, I kept saying it's not just about those platforms. So in the smaller spheres of just my family and my neighbors and so forth, it is very effective. It is very, very, very effective, and I am through the roof excited about it. And just to give you a little bit of background of what I mean in terms of that neighbor that I mentioned.
Okay.
I would be able to hear, through the walls, I could actually hear her mate screaming, and the words that were being said and the cussing and so forth, not just to her, to the children. That's detrimental to your psyche, to your being, to your everything. And now for one, I don't hear that. I don't hear it. And two, she's taken smaller steps. She is speaking over herself. She's speaking over herself. She ran into me the other day. She said, Adrienne, I'm speaking over myself. I said, well, okay. And she is. And she's just, she's saying her affirmations and meaning them. Because when we spoke originally, she said, oh, yeah, I say that, but, and you can always tell, and I could tell she was like me. You're saying it and you don't mean it. You reciting it like your ABCs. You just spitting it out. It's just words that you know. You don't mean it yet. You don't feel it yet. And now there is such a difference. She's standing differently. She looks different. Her children are looking better. So on my smaller scale, it's effective. And I'm just going to stay positive and pray that on a larger scale, it's going to be equally as effective.
Right. I love that. Well, Adrienne, I want to thank you for coming in tonight and definitely giving us some wonderful information in reference to your contribution of the book. I want to thank you. As we are closing up, we often like to leave either with some encouraging words, possibly some tips and advice that we haven't shared in tonight's conversation. If you wish to contribute, I would love for you to do so at this time.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and thank you. I just want everyone to know and believe it. Don't just hear me when I say this. Please let it actually penetrate you when I say this. Your voice matters. Your story matters. No matter how big or small it is on a scale, when you compare it to someone else, that's where the issue is. You're comparing it. Don't. It matters. And that light that is inside of you that is just waiting, it is waiting to burst out of you. You know what image I just came up with? And I hope I can say it on the radio because it's a movie, so I don't know about that, but hopefully I can. Edit if I can. I'm thinking of that scene in The Matrix. You know the scene in The Matrix towards the end when Keanu Reeves has that light and it's just bursting through? That's what's on the inside of you. That is what is on the inside, and it is just waiting. And the beauty is that it's not just for you. It's for you to be able to share it with others. So understand your voice matters. Don't hold things to yourself. That light is waiting to be an overflow and to completely change your life, completely change it around. That's what it did to mine.
Awesome. I love it. Well, Adrienne, again, thank you so much for being here on the Ladies Lounge. If you will, please, if you could take a moment just to share with the ladies how we can continue to support you in your efforts. Where can we go?
Oh, absolutely. The website is in the making. Until then, I'm on social media. I love my social media. So you can definitely, I do, it's bad. So you can find me on Facebook. That is Adrienne Dawkins, Adrienne, last name Dawkins, Dawkins. I will either have a cover photo of myself on stage with a $10,000 check. That's a whole nother call. Or we'll have a cover photo of myself zip lining through the jungles in Costa Rica. Told you, it's a whole nother call.
I know that's right.
And you can also find me on Instagram. On Instagram, it is Miss A Dawkins. That is MSADAWKINS.
Awesome. Well, Adrienne, again, thank you so much for being here on the Ladies Lounge. It was indeed a pleasure, and we look forward to hearing more great things about you. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Have a great evening.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye. Well, Source Nation, you heard it right there from Miss Adrienne Dawkins. She is part of an amazing book, Women Inspiring Nations. She is an author. All of her information and more can be found on Cassie B, Source Radio Network, as well as our main station page, Source Radio Network. Now, what I love most about my conversation with Adrienne was the fact that she shared an amazing journey where she talked about having a form of abuse and not being able to speak on that abuse. Well, now, since then, she's been able to really begin to share. And one of the things that I stated in the conversation is the fact that people are fearful of judgment, and that is the reason why they decide to withhold whatever it is that could be keeping them from growing, from prospering. And the one thing that I want to share with you, Source Nation, and the ladies here in the lounge is the fact that you don't want to do that. You don't want to ever stifle your dreams and your goals and your aspirations because you are fearful of the fact of what people may say or think. No. In order for us to grow, in order for us to prosper, we must do so. We must be able to communicate. We must be able to be transparent. We must be able to be authentic. Don't be scared of the fact that someone may say, well, oh, my gosh, I can't believe that really happened, or oh, wow, she had to go through that to be where she is. You definitely, that's right. I had to go through that to be where I am, to be as great as I am, to be who God is allowing me to be. That is my journey, and that is the reason why I choose to share. Think about that, Source Nation. Guys, you've been listening live here on the Ladies Lounge. I am your host, Kathy B. We'll be back here same time next week with more inspiring conversations and great guests. Have a great evening. Good night.
We'll be back, Source Radio Network, after this commercial break.
This program is brought to you by Paper to Film, Revolution Mills, Scott Cares Foundation, and Urban Grandstand Digital. Source Nation, join us 7 days a week, Eastern Standard Time, for Everything with Kathy B. On Mondays, join us from 6 to 7 for Family Mix Mondays with licensed professional counselor Jaquitra Bryant. From 7 to 8, we have Love Zone Mondays with Kathy B. And from 8 to 9, join us for the second hour of Love Zone Mondays with Kathy B. and Dr. D. Yvonne Young as they discuss topics that will help you strive for longevity and success in your relationships. On Tuesdays, join us from 6 to 8:30 for Sports Tuesdays with Steve Manderson. On Wednesdays from 6 to 7, we have Power Over Tomorrow with our resident financial advisor, Tyrone S. Mitchell. At 7, tune in for all of your political highlights on The Political Corner with Kevin Hezekiah. And from 8 to 9, join us for The Pendulum with Dr. Samori Swigert. On Thursdays, join us for our healthy cooking, fitness, and living segment. At 6, we have Healthy Cooking with Chef Keith. At 6:30, join us for The Right Workout with fitness specialist Vita McNeil Wright. At 7, tune in for Transforming Your Mind with licensed couple and family therapist Shai Porter. Join us at 7:30 for Healthy Living with our resident naturopathic physician, Dr. Jalisa. On Fridays, join us from 6 to 8 in the Ladies Lounge with Kathy B. From 8 to 9, tune in for Can We Talk with Master Relationship Coach Myra McKnight. And every fourth Friday, join us for Couples Talk with Dr. Ken and Myra McKnight. On Saturdays, join us for two amazing shows with host James Johnson. From 2 to 4, we have Indie Soul Saturdays, and every fourth Saturday, join us from 4 to 5 for the Indie Soul Saturdays Artist Countdown. Tune in as we play your top indie artists' songs for the month. Finally, every Sunday evening, join us for Mailbox Sundays. From 6 to 8, join us for Renaissance Relationship Therapy with Life Purpose Coach Tim T. And finally, from 8 to 9, join us for Practical Principles for Kingdom Living with Pastor Kenny Smith. Tune in as Pastor Smith shares principles designed to help build your relationships with God and others. Join us 7 days a week here on the Source Radio Network.
Took a moment to process some things you've said and did to me. Now that I've got it, go on, I'll surely be just fine. No grudges for me, you see, I know forgiveness is key. Though karma has your address, still wish you the best and hope life's kind. I won't only glitter, I'll shine. I don't need the spotlight, I'm divine by design. Knowing all the world will see what radiates from within me. Ooh, I'll shine. Ooh, been to the end of my rope, found life hard to cope. Hit rock bottom, it seemed. Like a phoenix, I'll always end up rising high. Part of the master's plan is who I am, and now I know what didn't break me was only there to help me grow. Took a moment to process some things you've said and did to me. Now that I've got it go on, I'll surely be just fine. No grudges for me, you see, I know forgiveness is key. Though karma has your address, still wish you the best and hope life's kind. I won't only glitter, I'll shine. I don't need the spotlight, I'm divine by design. Knowing all the world will see what radiates from within me. my rope, found life hard to cope. Hit rock bottom, it seemed. Like a phoenix, I'll always end up rising high. Part of the master's plan is who I am, and now I know what didn't break me was only there to help me grow.
What you said, you must think outside your head. You might need paper and lead. Hope your ass prepared your bed. No excuse, my schedule set. Flow butt heads like cigarettes. Truth is harsh, check the scars. Some minimize that at the bars. Some realize that life just hard. And some vocalize that it's just God. It's just God, touch the sky. Or get that ish they advertise. Or get that ish through Amazon. Or pass that ish like a damn baton. If your profile pic is an avatar, you've been plugged in way too long. Let's move on, let's move on. I'm having fun while I write this song. We all got life when they press record. We all get hype when we go through storms. We all feel nice when that wine get poured, but it ain't that nice when they close that door. Take no advice if it ain't they store. But the end of the night, well, you know the score.
Wake up in the morning as a champion. Generate the feeling of a champion. Setting up the pose of a champion. Register the feeling of a champion. Champion. Register the feeling of a champion. Champion. Register the feeling of a
Charged up electronics, waiting for him like Sonic. Till it hits the head, I'm like Vonage. Exercising Chuck Norris. This for those who win college. This for those who want harvest. Not for those who skip the flow and think they know, but the whole time they in the show. Nothing more for me, like it ought to be. Check it, we can circulate love like an artery. You get some, you get some, you get some, you get some, you get some. And that's all for me. Back to scheduled program. What's in your flow plans? Cut the school questions, I just do it for the gold, fam. Well, show your limo driver love and always tip your doorman. That's what he would say. Yeah, whatever.
Wake up in the morning. Wake up in the morning as a champion. Generate the feeling of a champion. Setting up the pose of a champion. Register the feeling of a champion. Champion. Register the feeling of a champion. Champion. Register the feeling of a